Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Oh, the echo in here is terrible. Today we are going to talk about how to get started with your electrolysis journey, finding somewhere near you, scheduling a consultation, all that stuff. So let's just jump right on in. So when I first started my electrolysis journey back in 2019, I was in North Carolina. I don't remember how I found the place that I found, honestly. But once I started going to her before I moved, when I told her that I was moving to Vegas, she gave me a list. It's a little pamphlet from the American Electrology Association or American Association of Electrology, one of those two. She gave me the pamphlet and it has a list of all of the people that are accredited through this association or certified through this association, whatever. So when I got to Vegas, the only person in Vegas, it was one woman, and I could not get in contact with her at all. Her website was up, but her phone, it just never worked. I couldn't get in contact with her. So I was really distraught. I didn't know what to do or how to find someone. In my eyes, because that association was the only thing that I knew, I thought that meant no one does electrolysis here. I went probably an entire year without doing electrolysis simply because I didn't know how to find one. I don't know what made it click in my head, but I was like, well, let me just Google to see if there's anything that I'm missing. So I did a quick Google search for electrolysis in Las Vegas, and a few places popped up to my surprise. So there's the Electrolysis Center of Las Vegas, which is downtown. And then there's a couple other places that I wasn't really paying attention to because this one just seemed the most reputable at a first glance. So that was where I started going. And then from there, I always tell you guys, shop around, get your consultations, try different places first and see where you're most comfortable. So over time there, I was off and on. COVID hit. So my appointments weren't as regular anymore. It was difficult to get in. The lady that I originally started with, she wasn't available really anymore. So I ended up with a different lady who, I don't think she did a bad job, but it was more painful than it used to be. And she couldn't explain to me why, which really threw me off. And now I know that it's because I previously got electrolysis and then I stopped. And so starting again made it harder to kill the hairs. But the first lady at that center, she wasn't hurting me. So I really thought that it was the new lady's fault, but I don't think it was. I think she knew that I needed a higher level of power to kill the hair, and therefore it was going to be more painful. And maybe the lady before thought she was using a high enough power for me and she wasn't. Also, because of COVID around that time, my anxiety was heightened, which also made it more painful, which I didn't fully understand until doing it a couple of times. And then I was like, no, I can't handle this because I just can't handle a lot of anything right now. So I ended up shopping around again. I looked into another place, which is how I found Smooth Image. I know I've referred to some of you. If you've asked me in the comments, I've told you about this place. And he answered a lot of questions. I think by this time I had more questions. So, I mean, that's one thing, is having the questions to ask. But yeah, he answered a lot more of my questions. He explained why it was so painful. He explained the type of electrolysis that he used. And he just answered a lot more of my questions, which made me more comfortable, which made me be a consistent client for him. So that's what we're going to go over, is how to find, this is an ongoing process for me. We're going to be going over how to find your electrologist in your area, even if you've got to make a little bit of a drive to get there, but finding the right one for you. First things first is you want to kind of accept where you are in your journey. You're at the beginning. It's going to take a while. There's going to be quite a bit of a process in general. But to find an electrologist near you, honestly, you're just going to do a quick Google search. You're literally going to search electrolysis in whatever city you are in and let those places pop up for you. They're going to be different distances. They're going to be different prices, most likely. Some of them might be a part of a small franchise, some of them might be individually owned. But you're going to go through those, go to the different websites, feel them out, see how they feel. Now, this is where I know a lot of people get a little bit nervous. Typically, especially in this age that we're in, everything is such a click away that we have gotten out of the habit of calling places to talk to people. So don't be afraid to call. 9 times out of 10 with these centers, whether it's individually owned or a small franchise, you're going to need to call to schedule your consultation, or at the very least in an email, but you're going to get your answers faster if you just call them. Now, when you're calling them, you're going to want to say, I'm interested in electrolysis in this area, whether it's your face, your chin, your armpit, whatever it is that you're looking to get rid of. You're going to let them know. And then you're going to ask them if they offer free consultations. Most of them do, if not all, but I don't know everything. So most of them will offer a free consultation. Ask them about that and they'll try to schedule one with you. If you go somewhere, you do a consultation, you really like the vibe that you're getting with this person, they're really personable, they're nice, they're talking to you, they're asking you questions the same way you're asking them questions, and you're like, you know what, I don't need to look anywhere else, do that. Just make sure that you are comfortable. So some of the questions that you might want to ask is, a lot of these questions are questions you guys are asking me, and these are questions that you need to be asking your electrologist. I can't answer these for you. It really depends on what you have going on. So some of the questions that you might want to ask during your consultation are going to be, how long is it going to take? And that's going to depend on how many sessions. Maybe you can ask them, how long of a session do they recommend? You guys know that I do 30-minute sessions because 30 minutes is about all I can tolerate. But if you can tolerate an hour and they think an hour would be good for you, that might be the route that you go. You can ask them what type of equipment they use. And you might not know what the hell it means if they tell you what type of equipment they use. But normally if you ask that question, they can answer it in a way that you understand why they use that equipment for you. So there's different types of probes, or like the little needle that they use. They have like a regular one and they have a gold one. I've used the gold one before, and to me it's a little bit less painful. They can let you know what settings, like if you have a darker skin tone, or depending on the thickness of your hair, they might be able to, if you ask what kind of equipment they're going to use for you, they might be able to explain what they're going to use and why they're going to use it. And how sure they are is going to give you a little bit of confidence in whether or not they know what they're doing for you. You can ask them whether or not they use the galvanic, the thermolysis, or a blend. And they should be able to explain to you which is which and why you would use them. Just all in all, don't be afraid to ask any question that pops up in your head, even if you have no idea what you're talking about. Asking those questions is going to let them give you thorough answers, then that will reassure you that they know what they are talking about. Once you've done that and you've scheduled your first appointment, even in your first appointment, you can still be thinking and asking questions. You can ask questions during your appointment. You can ask questions during your next appointment. As you progress through your journey, ask questions. Ask all the questions that you have. So like I said, I did start my journey in North Carolina, and we do plan on moving back to North Carolina in the next 4 months or so. Fingers crossed, prayers up. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of how you would find these places. So you're going to go to Google, search electrolysis in blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go ahead and put North Carolina, and all these places are going to pop up. Now, since I did North Carolina instead of just a specific city, it's going to pop up with, all different cities. So let's look at Greensboro real quick. They've got mixed reviews. Make sure you're reading your reviews, okay? Well, not your reviews, but make sure you're reading the reviews, because those are going to give you some really good insight into whether or not you want to even book a consultation in the first place. This one looks to be like a franchise. This one is the Carolina Electrolysis, and they've got multiple locations of this same business. And then you've got FAVES. FAVES is where I was going. It's in Garner. and you can see it has great reviews. April is a doll. You can see all the reviews are praising April, and Autumn, I believe, is her daughter. So I think in one video I did say, I mentioned that maybe she didn't answer all my questions, but I want to reiterate that I didn't have a lot of questions in the beginning. So that's not her fault. She was very sweet. She was very gentle. And that at the first time, if it's your first time getting electrolysis, a lot of you have said it doesn't hurt. It didn't hurt for me either in the beginning. So I don't think that there was anything that she did wrong by any means. I loved her. She was so personable, so sweet. I remember when I left, she was trying to like advocate for getting electrolysis to be covered by insurance. Super, super sweet lady. I definitely am considering going back to her. I just don't know if I'm going to be living that close, so I might look into some other places. But definitely, if you're in North Carolina and you are near Garner, she's definitely worth checking out because she's super sweet. And honestly, guys, that really is it. It's not as daunting as you think it may be. I know many of you have already started since I've been documenting my journey, which is amazing. I'm so happy for you guys, and I hope that everything is going well for you. Let me know your progress in the comments. But if you haven't started yet and you are ready to get started, go ahead and drop that Google search, girl. Google it. Make your calls. Don't be afraid to make calls. I know we're so used to being able to click buttons and just say make an appointment or schedule a consultation. Not all of these places are going to be able to have that option. So you need to call them. Just do it. It's not that bad. We need to get back used to talking to people anyway. I feel like we've been stuck indoors for so long and stuck on our computers and our phones that we just have completely forgotten human interaction. So please, please, please call and talk to these people so that you can get a feel for where you want to go and get to meet them in person and get a face-to-face interaction on what is going to be the best plan for you at the start of your journey. I feel like I've said so much and so little at the same time. I'm out of breath. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you. If it was, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. It's gonna help YouTube send this to other people and show them, hey, this is some good info. You might wanna see this, okay? So give it a thumbs up. Comment below where you are in your electrolysis journey. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you hit that bell, because if you don't hit the bell, you might not get notified when my videos go live. And that is it, you guys. I will see you guys in my next video.